picturesque Park Güell in Barcelona was Antoni Gaudí's attempt at building a residential park that was perfectly aligned along organic principles. With his unique observational skills and power of imagination, he was able to translate what he saw in nature into structures and designs that people all over the world admire until this day. And more than with anything else he built, nature lies at the heart of Park Güell. Unfortunately, the project was a commercial failure. Today, it stands as a reminder of what could have been. However, the intention behind its design can inspire us today to live our lives more slowly. Nicknamed God's architect for designing the Sagrada Familia, Barcelona's unfinished masterpiece, Gaudí's services were already high in demand when Count Eusebi Guëll, his lifelong patron, commissioned him to create Park Güell. While traveling in England, the businessman had been inspired by the Garden City movement there. That's why the word park is written with a K. The idea was to combine the benefits of living in the countryside and in a city while avoiding the downsides presented by both. Intended to be a suburb for the affluent, Park Güell was to be built on Carmel Hill, located away from Barcelona's city center. The projected population was around 300 people. Those interested in becoming a resident would have to build their own house though. They could purchase one of the 60 available lots. That came with restrictions. Building could only be carried out on a sixth of the estate. Also, houses could not obstruct sunlight or block other residents' view of the city. Construction began in 1901. Gaudí and his team designed and built most of the park, including its now famous entrance stairway. However, there was little demand from potential residents. Only a few houses were built on the park, none of which were designed by Gaudí. Güell lived in one, and Gaudí used all his savings to buy another one. He lived there until the day he passed away due to a tragic accident in 1926. Eusebi Güell had died earlier in 1918, after which his heirs sold the park to the Barcelona City Council. It opened as a municipal park in 1926 and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. If you've never heard of slow living, it's a movement that advocates taking things more slowly. Its proponents argue that in today's world we are habituated to always doing things fast and efficiently. The goal is not to take everything slow. Some things require speed and efficiency. Yet other things benefit from taking it slow. And it's important to recognize the difference in order to live a balanced life. So what can Gaudí's design of Park Güell teach us about slow living? 3 things. The first one is the importance of nature. To Gaudí, nature was his main source of inspiration. In Park Güell you can see this in many ways. To begin with, building could only be carried out on a sixth of the estate. This left most of the park for nature. Gaudí filled it with lots of different trees and plants, and there are also a lot of birds. But it goes further than that. Nature was integral to Gaudí's iconic building style. In Gaudí's view, the laws of nature were the revelation of God. He said there are no straight lines or sharp corners in nature. Therefore, buildings must have no straight lines or sharp corners. The straight lines belong to men and the curved ones to God. Park Güell doesn't have any straight lines. He used shapes found in nature instead. Nowhere is this more apparent than with the laundry room portico, an archway designed to mimic an ocean wave. The columns simulate palm tree trunks. When you're walking through it, it doesn't require much imagination to picture yourself as a surfer riding a big wave. Finally, because Park Güell is built on a hill, the views are spectacular. When entering the park from the rear entrance, you can see the summit of Mount Tibidabo with its church and amusement park. And the Greek Theatre, which has recently been renamed to Plaça de la Natura, offers an amazing view of the city center of Barcelona, including the Sagrada Familia, as well as the sea in the distance. Studies done in the last decades have shown that being in nature helps to slow us down and recharges our batteries. For example, the attention restoration theory asserts that spending time in nature improves our ability to concentrate, helps with creativity, and reduces stress. Nature also makes us feel good and improves our mood. Walking around in Park Güell is a great reminder of that. The second thing Park Güell teaches us about slow living is the importance of having a work-life balance. The park was supposed to be a retreat from the world of work. With lots of green, artful decorations, a large open space to organize markets and public events, and spots to enjoy the panoramic views, this would have been the perfect place to take it slow. The park was located away from the busy city center where most residents would probably have spent their working hours. The air was a lot cleaner than downtown. The layout of the park invited to taking leisurely evening walks, enjoying a cool evening breeze. And when you felt like taking a break, you could find your way to the Greek Theatre, the large open space with its serpentine bench, have a chat with a neighbor while enjoying the view. Even though the square is quite large, the unique shape of the bench, which curls and curves around the outer edges, enables people sitting on it to have a private conversation. And for a bench that is made of stone, the seats are unusually comfortable. Apparently, Gaudí had a workman drop his pants and sit in soft plaster to record the correct anatomical curve. The large open space itself was intended for concerts and public events. The Apostle Room below it, which is made up of 86 columns, could be used as a marketplace. It's also a great spot to find shade. To warrant that the residents would all be on board with this concept, they had to sign a contract agreeing not to use the terrain for the pursuit of any industry, trade or profession that might prejudice or inconvenience the owners of the park property or clash with the special planning whose permanent character we seek to maintain. The slow living movement aims to bring back balance. We aren't designed to expend energy continuously. Rather, we're meant to pulse between spending and recovering energy. If we carve out moments to slow down, we will be ready to accelerate when it's really needed. Park Güell seems like it would have been the perfect place to come home to after a hard day of work, to take it more slowly, enjoy a good meal, catch up with loved ones, and feel like life is worth living. The final thing Park Güell can teach us about slow living is the importance of playfulness. To think outside the box, use our imagination, and just have fun. Children know how to play intuitively, and we were all young once. But for many of us, we lose that skill due to the stresses of life. We're focused on making money to pay the bills and take care of our family. We worry about the future and ruminate on the past. I think we could all use a bit more fun in our lives. Park Güell's building style has a playful feel to it. It already starts with the pavilions at the entrance. They look like gingerbread houses, straight from the Hansel and Gretel fairy tale. The roofs are covered with broken tile mosaics made of waste pieces, using Gaudí's signature technique called trecandis, which is Catalan for chopped. In Park Güell, a lot of the mosaic work was done by Gaudí's assistant, Josep Maria Jujol. These mosaics are what give Park Güell its character. For example, trecandis was used to create El Drac, the dragon or salamander in the middle of the stairway. It serves as a protector for the park. It's now even become an icon for the entire city of Barcelona, where you can spot it on murals or in a black and white variation in Parc de la Ciutadella. Mosaics are also used to decorate the sides of the stairway as well as the ceiling of the Apostle Room. But the highlight of the mosaic artwork must be the serpentine bench. All the mosaics are unique and just look like someone had a lot of fun creating them. Maybe the artwork isn't functional, but it adds so much color to the park. I can only imagine that if the park had filled up with residents, as originally planned, some of them would have come out here in the weekend, hot cup of coffee in their hand, and pick a spot to examine all the tiles and let their mind wander. Now that would be something else than thinking about the latest business meeting or the bills that need to be paid. When I looked at the mosaics from up close, it reminded me of kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with golden lacquer. Shattered pieces are put back together and become even more beautiful laced with gold than they were originally. For trecandis, waste materials such as shards, broken chinaware and even glass are mixed together to create these beautiful mosaics. These mosaic artworks in Park Güell show what's possible if you allow yourself to play and let your imagination take over. You don't need any fancy materials to create something beautiful. From a slow living point of view, The important thing is that you take the time to do something that gets you out of your head and slows you down. That can be making crafts, playing a game with friends, or going for a walk and really paying attention to the plants and animals. It's up to you. You get to pick. The dream that Eusebie Guëll and Gaudí had for Park Güell never became a reality. However, what they did build lives on to inspire us today to live our lives more slowly. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like. To see more videos about slow living, as well as minimalism, subscribe to my channel. A video you may want to check out is slow living in the city of Barcelona, and I will link to that in the top right corner. And let me know in the comments section below, do you think you could live in Park Güell if it wasn't a tourist attraction? Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next video.